The panic is over from yesterday. Don't worry. Since you were last with me, we've just won lots of football matches. It seems that the tactical tweak wasn't necessary, but the new players we brought in are pretty decent. So I'm happy and excited again. Hello and welcome to Club 2 Part 10 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're away against Bognor Regis and then at home against Bromley, both in the Vanarama National League South. And as you can see, we're up into 4th place in that league, 1 point off the top of the league, and we're playing really rather well. Since you were last with me, results-wise, I mean, it's all good. We're undefeated. We had one game where we drew away against Kingstonian, which was a little bit iffy, but we're scoring lots of goals. Dean Rittenberg, who I think I described on the last video as he'll be all right to just sit there as our 4th choice striker. He's on 4 goals from 6 appearances and is our top scorer at the moment. Danny Mills has now returned from injury and he's scoring goals at the same rate he was before. We've gone back to the 4-4-2 and at the moment everything is feeling really rather positive again. What's not positive, I've just realised, is we're several days away from the game and I've started talking to you. So bear with me a moment while I go and get us ready for the game, and then we're going to play Bognor and then we're going to play Bromley and hopefully, big fingers crossed, end an episode top of the league for the first time in Non-League to Legend this year. I hope. Right, we've made it through to match day finally. We're going to be playing Bognor Regis, and this is the team that we're putting out there. Importantly, Lewis Robles not available because he's got a concussion. Danny Mills was going to lend him his helmet, but didn't get it to him in time. So Robles has been out for a little while with a concussion, which has meant the Rittenberg and Mills partnership is allowed to start building. I don't actually know who my first choice front two is going to be when Robles is fit, because both Rittenberg and Mills are scoring goals. Robles obviously scores lots of goals as well. It's a nice problem to have. We've had very little cliche bingo this year, but there you go. You can tick that one off. So this is our team. We've got Biddle in goal, a back four of Osborne, Allen, Stone and Burns, Compton, Ovenden, Clutton and O'Timmer in midfield with the aforementioned Rittenberg and Mills up front. Let's get into the game. Yes, Danny Mills is lacking match fitness, but he's played 2 games. He really does need to sort that match fitness out sooner rather than later. So let's get kicked off. And, play the game. There we go. So, hopefully we carry on in the brilliant form that we were in when I was playing through this last night after I got home from my daughter's panto, turned this on my laptop and thought, I better go and get fired from Bath then. And it was just win. It was ridiculous. And I went from, I don't really want to do this. It was miserable. That miserable summer, that miserable first game of the season. I've been putting off playing it. And by the end of it, I was tempted to come out here and record a video at midnight because I really wanted to carry on playing. But I thought, no, I'll do this properly. I'll be a grown-up. I'll record the videos when I normally record the videos. But I am really, really excited and up for this save again, which I absolutely wasn't after yesterday's video. I was just miserable with it. A couple of people did ask about the garage situation after my pay rise. The reason I didn't show you a new house on the house hunting yesterday, partly because I forgot to, and partly because you still can't buy a house for 100 grand in Bath. I'm still living in a garage. So, fingers crossed, we either find a new club or get a significant pay rise at some point, because it gets cold out here in the middle of winter. It doesn't matter how many sets of curtains I hang up over the garage door, it's still going to get chilly in the middle of winter, in the middle of the night, and it costs an absolute fortune to have this electric heating plugged in. Right, we're not really doing anything at all, although, as part of not doing anything, we have drifted up to joint top of the league. Presumably no one else is playing right now, although we are level on games. Did we have a game in hand that I didn't even notice, or are we playing late? If we grab a goal in this one, we are going to be outright at the top of the league. So, in fact, no, we're not. Aldershot are playing now, and they've just scored now, so we now need to do the same and get ourselves up there level on points with Aldershot. And, I mean, if we score a few, we can go ahead of them on goal difference. Compton, cross comes in, and no one gets onto the end of it. But their lumped clearance just makes it as far as Stone, who should deal with this comfortably. And new skipper Allen plays it to Ovenden. This is a weird, long highlight. We're getting a few of these lately. They do normally lead to a goal, but it's never clear which end that goal is going to be, because it has been end to end throughout this highlight. And there's the goal. What is it with these super long highlights at the moment, Football Manager? We were attacking when that started and I was excited. And it went back and forth and back and forth. And then it leads... I mean, whole thing could have just started with this ball forward. There you go. Highlight starts there. They grab a goal. It doesn't need to start 3 phases of play before the goal. It's just teasing me into thinking I might be about to score. And it upsets me. as it stands, down to 5th, 3 points off top of the league. This wasn't part of the script. Don't tell me we're going to end up in one of these situations that seems to happen far too regularly. One of these ridiculous situations where we can only win when you lot aren't watching. Danny Mills is shattered. We're going to bring Doty on. Doty's actually played a few games as a poacher for us recently. He's not very good at it, but Rittenberg is so good at being a defensive forward that I don't really want to make him the more attacking of the two, even though he's the proper striker. So Doty's just there really to fill a gap on the pitch, and we just don't have. No game changers again. We'll bring Barrett on at right back in the hope that his pace and running can create us something down that right hand side. But having two fullbacks on the bench probably isn't the smartest idea. But I've been letting my assistant manager pick my substitutes for 2 years. I just don't see myself changing at any point. It's too much of a faff picking substitutes. I will start doing it one day. If he keeps putting this nonsense on the bench, I'll have to. Rittenberg crosses. We've got a penalty. With 30 seconds to go, we've just won a penalty, and the Bognor players are rightly furious. I think it probably was a penalty. But it's not nice to concede a penalty on 94 minutes and 20 seconds. Jack Compton needs to hurry up a little bit. I don't know the actual situation around final whistles going while penalties are being taken. I vaguely remember there being an incident possibly involving David Platt many years ago where a penalty was hit and then the whistle blew before it hit the back of the net. But it hasn't happened to us. It's 1-1, and I think that'll probably be the last kick of the game. And we've got out of jail a little bit here. We didn't really show very much going forward at all. And I think it's made it quite a simple decision to bring Lewis Robles back into the team for the next game. In fact, looking at those stats, Bognor only had 2 shots in the entire game. They had more possession than us, but we've bettered them on just about every other stat. The match is still going on. I thought for a second there we were going to go and steal a win, which would be really unfair on Bognor to be losing going into the last 30 seconds of injury time and then go and pick up a win. A draw's not a disaster. We do need to make sure we don't start to get falling off the pace nonsense going on again. I don't know what that was. We're playing Bromley now and we need to beat them. Couple of changes for the... Who are we playing? Bromley match then. Hinchcliffe comes in for O'Tim, he's tired, so Hinchcliffe can come in. They're roughly equivalent now. Last season, O'Tim was much the better player. This season, not so much in him. O'Tim's still better and will still get the nod more often than not, but Hinchcliffe has improved over the course of the summer, presumably because he's gone off and had a proper pre-season with Notts County, playing full-time and whatnot, and seems to be developing a little bit quicker than O'Tim is. I don't even know, do they train with me during the week, lone players, or is he training with Notts County? It's a long old drive if he's training with Notts County. Robles not fit enough to come on the bench really. He's recovered from his concussion, but he's still got a bit of a headache. So we're leaving him at home. We'll continue with Rittenberg and Mills for today. Although Danny Mills is taking absolutely forever to become match fit. I mean, he missed the first 2 or 3 games of the season, but this is probably his 3rd or 4th game in a row now, and he's still not close to match fit. I don't really understand how he can still be struggling to finish football matches when, I mean, he only had he was out for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. It wasn't he got injured at Easter and now he's only just fit. He's not had any kind of pre-season. He had a pre-season. He got injured like 3 days before the start of the season and missed the first 2 or 3 games. He should be able to play full games at this point, and he can't. I mean, he's basically the granddad of the team now. Him and Compton are the only players we've got, I think, who are older than 25. Mills maybe 28, Compton at 30. So perhaps it's just that he's an old man and can't keep up with all these young whippersnappers. But whatever the reason is, he needs to sort himself out and get some match fitness into him somehow. And I'm playing him in all the matches. There's not much more I can do to try and get him match fit. And we're losing to Bromley 1-0. And I tell you what, if we don't win this game, I'm banning the camera from the next 2 videos. Because, I mean, I know that's very disappointing if you don't get to see my face. But we were so good when you lot weren't watching. So, Ovenden really should. I mean, that's a beautiful opportunity made by Hinchcliffe. And he's just hit that wide. And there were strikers either side of him. Mills and Rittenberg were both there. I thought that had gone in. And maybe Ovenden should have just taken a step back and let a proper finisher try and apply a proper finish rather than thumping it as hard as he could wide of the post. Probably damaging the advertising boards behind there, which, quite frankly, is irresponsible at this level. We pay a lot of money for them. We can't afford to replace him. I don't know what Ovenden did there. He sort of slid into a through ball and tackled himself. He's having a weird game. Right, Clutton to Rittenberg, and that was a terrible pass. What is going on? We've been playing. I want you to see how well we were playing. We were playing such beautiful, flowing, attacking football. We looked so good. And now we look like we did on that first episode again. And we're not doing any stupid tactics that aren't going to work. We're not doing a silly combination of players. We're playing our best team, the team that went on that winning run. And we just don't seem to be able to score goals anymore. Rittenberg looked like an absolute hero, a super signing, and he's done nothing while you lot are watching. He's on the verge of coming off. And if I'd rather play Doty up front than him, that shows you how poorly he's playing today. But Danny Mills isn't going to make it through the whole game because he's, I don't know, worried he's going to bang his head or something, presumably. And despite all these summer signings, we might actually be about to find ourselves without a goal scorer on the pitch again. Which was, I mean, I don't learn. It's exactly what caused us the problems last year. Compton's now injured. I mean, that's a massive problem as well. O'Tim can come on and play out there. Henchcliffe can probably play out there. I just brought O'Tim on for Henchcliffe. Hold on. Reverse that. O'Tim comes on for Compton and we'll stick Henchcliffe out on the left-hand side. And O'Tim can come over here. But if we lose Compton... I mean, losing Compton, I don't know. He's still a disruptive influence in the dressing room, so maybe having him off the pitch might actually help us, but we're now going to take off Rittenberg as well. Danny Mills is just going to have to stay on the pitch because we need him, and then we're going to bring on Sharp to play left back instead of Osborne. Bit more attacking, maybe we'll get some oomph down that left hand side. And I mean, have we even had a shot? I don't remember us having a prop. There was the Ovenden one in the first half. I think that's the only shot that's been worthy of a highlight. We've not created a clear-cut chance in the entire game. Bromley have had two. If we mugged Bognor a little bit in the last game by coming back into it, then I mean we're about to do the same to Bromley if we manage to drag our way back into this one. We don't deserve to win this match, and I don't know where it's gone wrong. We're still in 5th place. I mean, it's insane. 3 points off the top of the league after 1 point from 2 games. We could have been top of the league if we'd have won either of these matches. So I don't know if they're just if we're entering nosebleed territory maybe. But I mean, we've not got anything. We're not showing anything going forward. Non-league football really does make my mood swing. Goodness gracious me. And this is our first defeat since the first day of the season. And we need Lewis Robles back. It's all because we said I didn't know who we'd play. Well, it's become clear who we're going to play now because we've just watched 2 full games and our front 2 of Rittenberg and Mills, they may as well have not been there because I certainly didn't notice them. So Lewis Robles is definitely coming back into the side. And if we won another 94th minute penalty, that's just nuts. If only we hadn't have conceded that second goal, we'd have been having a carbon copy of the Bognor game. Mills to take it this time because Compton's gone off injured. Hopefully he just tucks it away. There you go. Get another goal under his belt. But we've got 8 seconds to try and grab an equaliser, and Danny Mills is waddling along and he's never going to get the ball back to the centre circle before the final whistle goes. He should just kick that and lie down on the edge of the pitch or something. And there we go. We've lost. We're still in a playoff position. It's not reason to panic yet, but we are already 6 or 7 games into the season starting to show that we're incredibly inconsistent at the moment. We predicted that when we signed all those young players, and it already seems to be coming true. But if we finish the season in 5th, I'll be happy. So let's not be too miserable. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.